Man, what is good, YouTube? I decided to make an 8-man bracket of the most delusional fighters in the UFC. And before we get started, please don't take this super serious. I ain't gonna try to piss nobody off of your favorite fighters on here, but let's just list the reasons of like people being on here. Like, I feel like y'all can see it and somewhat agree. Okay, let's break it down. 1 seed, 2 seed, Anthony Smith, Paddy Pimblett. Simple as that. Then we got Curtis Blaydes. He thinks he can strike now. He can't. Simple as that. Dominic Reyes thinks he can still fight. No. Dominic Cruz thinks he can get the title. No. Tony Ferguson thinks he can still fight. No. Mystic Mac, nothing more to say. Israel Adesanya, he sold some delusion in like interviews before the Pereira fight. But anyways, we getting straight to it. But I gotta be honest, I accidentally skipped this. I had to redo it. I accidentally skipped the first round, so I just skipped ahead. And what do you know? Anthony Smith gets the dub. But anyways, we're gonna get into the actual tournament. Okay, now we got the first fight. We got the number 1 seed, Anthony Smith, taking on Curtis Blaydes. Curtis Blaydes was trying to shoot takedowns. This is what we want from him in real life, but he was not able to get no takedowns. First round, pretty much all the same stuff till Anthony Smith lands a Superman punch that rocks Curtis Blaydes. And after that, there wasn't too much that happened. Anthony Smith stuffed every single one of his takedowns. Curtis Blaydes went 0 for 6 in the first round. But he's already proven everybody wrong, and he's starting to wrestle. And he goes for a takedown. It seems like he's not going to get it, but then he picks up Anthony Smith and slams him. Anthony Smith ended up going for a triangle, but Curtis Blaydes got out of that easy. Then for the rest of the round, pretty much Curtis Blaydes was in top mount for the rest of the fight until right then. Now we got the third round. Anthony Smith starts out with a Superman punch, the first punch that rocked him, and then he sits down Curtis Blaydes with an uppercut. Curtis Blaydes was trying to shoot some more, but again, he was having no success. Anthony Smith decides to clinch, turn him around, and he makes him pay for it with an overhand and a leg kick. After Curtis Blaydes was getting no damage off, he finally lands a straight right that rocks Anthony Smith in a head kick that Anthony Smith somehow just eats. And then he takes down Anthony Smith, but Anthony Smith's going to get the back, and then the rest was history.
All 3 judges scored the contest. 30-27. Declared the winner by unanimous decision, Anthony Lionheart.
Now in the next fight, we got the 4 seed, Israel Adesanya, taking on the 5 seed, Dominic Reyes. He starts off with a wheel kick that completely misses. Then basically for the rest of the first round, there wasn't too much action. Israel was just getting the better of those shots, picking them apart. Reyes would land some of his shots, but it just wasn't enough. Second round was basically the same stuff, but Izzy does a jumping switch kick that lands to end the round. In the third round, damage actually starts getting done. Dominic Reyes gets his leg kick checked. That had him stumbling back, but Izzy is also going to rock him for the first time with an uppercut and a body shot. In the last round, Izzy starts out with a glove touch, but really he was coming to disrespect Dominic Reyes with a front kick and a spinning back fist right behind it. But Reyes comes back with a crank kick that rocks out Adesanya. At some point, Dominic Reyes somehow got on his back, but he gets back up, and then what do you know, he goes for another crank kick and he rocks out Adesanya. Just when you think Dominic Reyes is starting to make a comeback, he gets rocked by a head kick and then he gets his leg taken out. Israel eventually knocks him down, gives him a couple ground and pound shots, but it's going to go to a decision win. Next fight, we got Paddy versus Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz was kind of piecing him up. Paddy tries to shoot a takedown, but he eats an uppercut instead. Just to land his own, and then he sits down Dominic Cruz with his right hand. With 20 seconds left, Paddy decides to run into a front kick head first, and he somehow survives. Paddy tries to go for a clinch, but Dominic Cruz pieces him up and goes with a head kick instead. And then Dominic Cruz was pretty much just clinching and kneeing for the rest of the round. Paddy lands a hook kick, but the bell ended, so that did nothing. Paddy goes for an overhand just to eat a Superman into a hook that sits him down. After that, Paddy decided to keep his chin straight up in the air, eats a front kick into a spinning back fist that ends the fight. Next fight, I had to go with the bald Connor because that's the delusional Connor, and I had to go with welterweight Tony because that's the worst Tony. But Tony ended up getting her hopes up, getting a rock just to get sit down. Connor tries to land some ground and pound, but Tony's going to go ahead. He's going to stand it right back up just to get dropped by that straight left. Near the beginning of the second round, Tony has to eat like 8 shots that he just somehow eats. I don't know how he's still up, but Connor decides to put his head straight into a head kick, and then Tony's coming in crazy with the elbows and the knees. Connor didn't take that. He lands a front kick, knocks down Tony Ferguson, but Tony Ferguson survives just to eat a straight left that ends the fight. Now we're in the semifinals. We got Anthony Smith versus Adesanya, Dominic Cruz versus Conor McGregor. And I'll be honest, I accidentally submitted it again. I accidentally simmed it again. So I ended up having to restart the tournament. And I kept simming it, and it kept getting the same result, so I had to do this. After a little bit of work, we got the semifinals. This time, I'm not going to sim it. We're just going to get straight to it. Starting off the first fight to the semifinals, we got Anthony Smith versus Adesanya. Anthony Smith actually rocked Adesanya after a pretty back and forth first round. But Adesanya, he comes back strong, gets his own knockdown in round 2. Anthony Smith throws an overhand straight into a head kick that I don't know how he ate. I was hoping Anthony Smith had plot armor. Justin Gaethje in the last video didn't, but Israel Adesanya pretty much just abused him for the rest of the fight. Landing spinning kicks, jump kicks, all of that. Anthony Smith does land his own flying knee though. Izzy eats it, but they both trade Superman punches, and Anthony Smith gets KO'd. Alright, in this next fight, we got Dominic Cruz versus Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor starts off stuffing a takedown. After a couple more shots, he eats the Superman punch. He does end up getting his takedown for the rest of the round, but does nothing with it. Round 2, Dominic Cruz is not going to go for a glove touch, but he ends up paying for it. He kept getting rocked like crazy. Didn't matter if it was to the head or to the body. Dominic Cruz was just getting pieced apart for basically the rest of the round, shooting takedowns straight into uppercuts. And I might just let you guys watch this. Hold up. Knockdown. Jab into a side kick. Straight left. Another knockdown. Then Dominic Cruz, he got saved by the bell because he was going to get knocked out. Conor throws a 2 into a head kick that sits down Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz is going to get back up, but he just kept getting sit down and looking silly. Tries to get Conor down, sniffs his nuts, but he just pays for it with a KO. Now, after all that, we get in the championship fight. We got Israel Adesanya versus Conor McGregor fighting for the most delusional fighter in the UFC. And I think this was the first round that we had that nobody got rocked. And I'm going to be honest, whoever gets this belt is the fake winner because we all know the most delusional fighter is either Anthony Smith or Paddy Pimblett. That should have been the... I should have gave them plot armor because that should have been the final fight easily. Although I think Anthony Smith takes that all day. Izzy was landing some ground and pound on Conor McGregor, but he got back up. And Conor McGregor was having a tough time with the range of Adesanya. Every time he tried to strike, he wasn't able to do nothing. He was out of range for real kicks. He get rocked to the body. He was getting pieced up. He ended up getting dropped by an overhand, going for his straight left. That does nothing. Izzy gets top mount. He ends up just riding Conor McGregor like a horse until Conor McGregor finally pushes him off of him. Right when he gets up, Izzy sits him down for a Superman punch. And then basically he gets his back. He's going to go ahead. He's going to take back mount. And then he's going to get Conor flat. Conor tries to get out of it, but Izzy lands a punch. And then after that, he basically just goes for the submission while Conor's gassed. And there you have it. We got Israel Adesanya, a striker on Conor McGregor's back that just chokes him out with ease.
You tap like chicken.
And just like that, Israel Adesanya submits Conor McGregor to become the delusional fighter champion.